My name is Olusade Oyesiji, and with me today on the show, I have a very special guest who is a journalist and also a communication specialist. I'll be asking a few questions to make you know her better. Good morning, Miss Oluchi.
Good morning, Olusade.
I love your dress. You look ravishing.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, like I've told my viewers today, they would like to know you. So, what's your name, please, ma'am?
Okay, my full name is Okeogo Deborah Oluchi, but I prefer people refer to me as Debbie Oluchi.
Debbie
so that's what I use
Oluchi.
majorly.
So, our guest today is Debbie Oluchi. So, Miss Debbie, what's your educational background? Where did you study?
Okay, I graduated from the prestigious University of Ibadan, the first and the best university actually, and I studied English education.
Wow.
From the University of Ibadan.
Wow, she went to the premier
yeah,
school,
you can
right?
say that again.
And I mean, the English language is very, obvious in your way of speaking. All right, so you're a journalist, am I right?
Yes.
So I know you studied English language. How did you go from English, being an English educationist, to journalism? How did you?
Okay, I had always had this a flair for journalism while I was on campus. I used to be in the Union of Campus Journalists.
Wow.
So that was where my passion grew from. And so when I had the opportunity, when I graduated from school, I decided to further my studies in journalism. So I decided to go to have a postgraduate diploma in the International Institute of Journalism.
Wow.
So that was where I learned everything that has to do with journalism. Yeah.
So you went to school and then you went to another school for journalism.
Yes.
Wow, impressive, really impressive. So what really inspired you? For some people it might have been a make do or something they just wanted to do because they needed to be relevant or what have you. But what exactly inspired you to become a journalist?
Okay, I used to have this passion, especially when I look at the likes of Fisayo Shoyombo, Maya Watijani, and all that. And then while I was on campus, I always loved to write stories that will put me in trouble, in quotes.
Okay.
Like I wanted to have. Okay, I had always wanted to be an investigative journalist, but because of one reason or the other, I couldn't delve into that in full. So I wanted to be a journalist who would make history. I didn't believe that I'll write a story and they won't look for me.
Right.
You understand? So that was what really triggered my passion. Then I had people I was looking up to, like I've mentioned Fisher Shoyombo, especially because I spoke to him then and he encouraged me and all that. So that was really what triggered
and inspired
my interest.
You. Wow.
Yes.
And like you said, investigative journalism, and then you went ahead and then you went to become a journalist. But from transferring yourself from education to being a journalist, and then now practicing journalism, has there been any challenges here and there, probably in the course of study, or even now that you're like you said, you want people to look for you? Have there been challenges and all of that?
Anyway, I think while I was on campus, probably I'll call it a positive challenge, because then I wrote a story and my editor-in-chief then was like, Debbie, are you sure you want to publish this story? Because it was all about one of my lecturers in the department.
Wow.
And it was really not a good story.
Okay.
So my editor-in-chief was like, are you sure you want to publish this story? And I'm like, yes, I will publish it. And everyone who read it knew that, although it was a fiction, but everyone who read it knew that I was talking about this particular person. So I was happy, And then talking about challenges, I think that would be when I was having my PGD. I was working and I had to go to school.
Wow.
My projects, we had a series of projects, and I had to fund schooling myself and all that. And I wasn't really earning a lot then, but after everything, I just thank God because I was able to come out of it successful.
Wow. So when I listen to your story, all I hear is resilience, determination, not allowing challenges to get in your way and all of that. But I know you did all of this by yourself. But were there people who pushed you or people who encouraged you? And if there were not many people who did, were there people who said some things that almost got to you and then you felt, do I really need to go through all this? For what reason? Or and all of that. Were there people like that? And how did you handle both classes of people?
Okay, really for me there was no one to encourage me. Everything that was just encouraging me was my passion.
Wow.
I was just ready to pursue my passion. And when I got the form for my PGD, I didn't have insurance. I had to borrow the money,
Wow.
10,000 naira, to buy the form. But I knew that after getting this form, there was no going back for me. So I did everything, and I made sure that I paid every amount I need to pay in school. So there was no one to encourage me. There was no one, but people were just saying, oh, maybe you probably do good if you're in this field and all that and all that. But there was no push from anywhere. I think the push was from me, and it was from my inside. And talking about, I think, generally, I think one thing someone had said to me was the fact that don't you think you need to go and work in a big place, because I want to start up from a small place and grow. The person was like, I had opportunities to work in bigger media organizations, but I decided to say no. So with even a very juicy appointments, but I decided to say no. I want to start small and grow to the level I want to get to in life, in my career.
Wow, really good. So what I'm hearing you say is that you are a self-driven person who knows how to place opportunities, in their right perspective. Like you just said, you have to sacrifice some things to make sure that you really focus on what you have to do. And I find it really interesting that despite the things you've been through, you took yourself, let me say, you put yourself out there, and then you did all you had to do. Okay, Miss Debbie Oluchi, having gone through your profile, I've read you're a journalist, and something caught my eye, that you are also a communication specialist. And I mean, that's one of the things that I really wish I could do. But then again, what do you intend to achieve being a communication specialist, and who exactly are your target audience?
Okay, communication is just what I intend to achieve is just to put into people what I have, because I want people, yes, English language, like I will always say, it's not our mother tongue, but there is need for us to speak it well. So that's why my name, on if you check my communication page, the name says Speak Right Rendezvous. So I want to, it's a platform where I get to teach people how to pronounce English words, how to say English expressions correctly, and just sound a little bit like a native speaker of English language, just to make a difference in your communication. That's just the purpose for that. Then my target audience, I have probably from kids up to any age that you can learn. So far you can learn, you can, number one, speak English, even if you don't know how to speak correct English, but just have an idea of English, and you can learn, then you're welcome to.
So with Miss Debbie, there is no excuse that I'm not so good in English. Whoever you are, she's ready to make you speak better and right. Good. All right, ma'am. So, but on this your target audience issue, what has been the responsiveness so far? Trying to make people, some people say, it's my mother tongue, I'm not, I was born Yoruba, now I'm Igbo, whatever, and then some people have excuses, I can't speak well, but how responsive have they been, your target audience?
It reminds me of the last video I dropped on YouTube, and in that video I taught 3 tips to becoming better in your communication, and the 3 things you need to do is just to, number 1, you get trained. First, you have to be dedicated and be ready. Then you get trained. After getting trained, you have to practice over and over again, and then you have to be confident, because one thing I have seen in people is the fact that they are not confident, especially in public. Like I tell people that your marketplace as a communicator is the public. So there's no point of you staying inside your house and speaking and doing all the and getting outside and you just goof everything and all that. So that's just I have not seen that person, no matter how thick your accent could be, you can speak well, you can have a neutral English accent.
So people like us who are Yoruba people, we can also
really
speak right
people that have the H factor, you understand. So there are exercises you could do to help you overcome the H factor. We call it aspiration factor. So
wow. So I mean, viewers right there, I couldn't have said it better than Miss Debbie. there is no excuse. I was born Yoruba, I have H factor, I'm shy, and all of that. Speak right. Right, speak right.
Yes,
right. Speak right would help you speak the best way possible. And also, were there any challenges starting? Now that you've started, what are the challenges? I know that we could be very, somehow around this part of the world, but
yeah,
so far so good, huh?
Yes, I think there are, I've been into this since I think 2008.
Oh,
that was when I went for my training, and I've been through it. And I think one of the challenges was the day I told someone, my name, what's your name? I said, my name is Deborah. And the person was looking at me like, do you mean Deborah or Deborah? I was like, no, it's Deborah.
Wow.
The person was like, okay, why are you forming that? Why are you forming? Is it not Yoruba? And I was like, Deborah is not a Yoruba name. It's a Hebrew name, and the correct pronunciation is Deborah. And all that, before you could convince someone, someone that has this pronunciation right from childhood, and you're now telling me that this is not the correct way to pronounce this word and all that. But all the same, I've heard people, I think my first video, the first video I dropped on Facebook, that I did not even, I was just a phone video and all that, I wasn't really thinking that people would pay attention to and all that. I had over 800 views and all that. Wow. So I was like, wow. So that was what motivated me again. I said, okay, so I had to improve on the production of my videos and all that. And yeah, I've not gotten there, but I'm not where I used to be.
All right. Okay, so quick one. That was a quick tip from what Miss Deborah said. So your name is not Deborah,
no,
right?
No, my name is actually Deborah. Yeah.
All right. So,
and if you're out there and your name is Deborah, Deborah, your name is Deborah, not Deborah. So that's it.
And you mentioned something just now, and it's been a challenge for people like me.
Okay.
Would I say, but I know your name. Your name is Shade. So why exactly are you trying to speak your English this way? I can't really, it's just Yoruba. Speak this Yoruba that you know how to speak, or speak the English in a way that we can understand. So what would you advise someone like that who is really trying to get better, right? Okay. And then, personally trying to get better, but the environment doesn't allow.
Find yourself.
And people say, what are you saying? Speak what I can hear. Where's Deborah?
Okay.
Deborah and all
I had this video I did where I taught how to pronounce names of fruits and vegetables, and I one of my friends, or a big sister, saw the video and was like, how would you say we should pronounce what we used to pronounce as cucumber as cucumber? And she was like, if you go to the market and you tell the Hausa man you want to get cucumber, the person will just keep looking at you, or the person tells you cucumber is 500 naira, cucumber is 50 naira. You understand?
Right.
So but one thing I would tell people in that position is that keep at it, no matter when you're trying to do something new.
Right.
You definitely get people to attack you, definitely get people to discourage you, but you have to keep doing it, especially when you know that you're doing something that is good, something that will make you better. So don't get discouraged. Encourage yourself. Even if you don't have anyone to encourage you, encourage yourself and become better in your communication. And I always tell people that the way you communicate, the way you speak, will determine the level of people that will come to you. Even when you're not making sense, but when people hear your accent, they're interested in listening to you. So try as much as possible to encourage yourself and be the best at your communication.
Wow. I mean, Miss Deborah is always dropping the advice and the sweet points.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show with us.
Thank you very much.
So if you have any word of advice for our viewers today, what would it be? If in one sentence you were to advise our viewers, what would it be?
I would just say this: work the talk.
Wow,
that's all.
Walk the talk. Thank you so much, Miss Debbie. Okay, so viewers, that's all we have for you today on this episode of our show. You can not just like this video, but comment and subscribe so you can get notifications when we have such awesome videos dropping on this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for viewing. Have a wonderful day. Bye.